Welcome to Power Wash. It's power washing again. We're back. It's power washing time. Here we go. I'm just gonna get right into it because it's kind of taking a lot longer than I expected. We're actually 48% done, and so 3 videos to get basically around 50%. Ain't bad, but also I want to speed things up a little. I don't exactly know what I'm going to talk about this episode. Something. I'll figure out something. Maybe I can tell a story or something like that. I remembered the fish instrument I was talking about last episode, and lo and behold, I do not know how to pronounce it, but I will put up the name of it on screen now. So there you go. Yeah, I don't know how to pronounce it. Yay. But it does come from South America, or like Latin countries as well. So I was right about that. However, I found if you just look up fish instrument, I think it's Chinese. There is a Asian fish instrument too, but it's different than the one I was talking about. And the one I was thinking about is made up of like gourds and stuff. But yeah, it's got ridges, and then you can run a stick over it, and it makes a scratchy noise. It's fun. They're fun to mess around with. But yeah, that's what it was called. So, in case you're wondering, I don't know how many of you were actually wondering or care, but there you go. There's just this. And that's done, and then the frame, which is probably the top. Let me see if it's the top of this frame. Oh yeah, it is. Look at that. There we go. And there's this as well. There we go. Dinging noises. Oh wow. I'm just cleaning everything now. The dinging noises are nice. Let's see. Let's find something interesting to talk about. I need a story of some sort. I'm not sure. Nothing interesting has happened recently. I suppose some people were expecting a Don't Starve video today, but I think that one might come out Saturday or Sunday. I don't know which, but sometime this week. We'll have to see. But yeah, it's power washing. This is a very inefficient way of doing this. This is much better. There we go. And then get here. And that's clean. I've been very tempted to actually buy a real power washer. Or I guess pressure washer. Most of them are actually pressure washers. And there's a difference between like the temperature of the water. I don't know. But they're... Oh, it depends on what you consider expensive and cheap. But they're only around like $300. And then, of course, depending on the size you get or, you know, the model, they can get more pricey, but not horrible. And so I've actually been tempted to buy one. But like I mentioned, when you're trying to save up for a PC, you kind of don't have much money to spare. However, maybe I'll buy one in the future, because this game, curse game, I love it, but every time I see something that's dirty, I'm like, I just think to myself, I can power wash that. Yeah, I could clean that. Or this thing needs cleaning. You know how many like sidewalks I walk on that are so dirty, and if only you pressure washed them, they would be so much better. I just want to grab a pressure washer and go and clean the entire earth. And more, just pressure wash Mars. Get all that dust out of there. Like, I don't even care if you want to like live on the planet. I just wash it, just cause. Of course, it'd probably be a waste of water, but I mean, I don't know, give me something to do. That would make headlines if I washed the entirety of Mars. But I mean, why stop at Mars? Mercury, Venus, and I already mentioned Earth, Jupiter, Saturn, the other ones. I know my planets. Some of them might be a little too big to wash, though. But I wonder if I'll live to see the day if we do colonize Mars. If we colonize it. and slash when. Because if there's anything I know about people, people like colonizing things, especially the British. People like colonizing and fighting over the randomest things. I think back to the Falklands War. It was like a tiny island with not much on it, and Argentina and the UK fought a war over it. It's like, alright, I guess people care that much about their empires, but whatever. Yeah, people will fight over anything. So, I don't know, people will probably fight over Mars one day. But, I don't know, they're all just floating rocks in space. I get the value of Earth, because it's the only one we are currently living on, and can survive on, as of right now. So I understand that one. I'm not saying it's justified for the reason people start wars, but I'm just saying I understand why people think Earth is valuable. But all the other planets are just like rocks in space. I suppose not all of them are rocks. You have gas giants as well, and I don't actually know what the planets are made out of, other than, you know, oh, this one's a gas giant, and this one's this one's that. So I understand they're more than just floating rocks in space. But still. There we go. That's clean. Actually, I wonder. Here, I'll finish this area. Then I'll probably open. I don't know if it's the menu. It's no, that's not the right button. Where is it? This thing. And I'll see if there's anything, because it tells you the percentage. Yeah, like door hinges. I've missed a door hinge. And I don't... Is it these things? I think so. Door hinge. Here we go. Like, I've missed this, apparently. There we go. So, I have to go and basically look for anything that is 70 to 90% done. It's something I've missed, and I just didn't realize I've missed it. And so I gotta go back and make sure that's clean. Because if you make sure that you've done all that now, then when you get towards the end, you get to avoid the task of trying to find the tiny little area that you didn't know you missed, but when you look at it from a distance, it looks clean. And so if I avoid that now, then I won't have to do it later. I am glad there's more content to PowerWash Simulator. It's one of my favorite games. Top 10 for sure. That also might say something about the amount of games I played, because I haven't played very many. But I still think it's a great game. They said something about they were going to add more story to the game and add more content, and this is kind of just like, I don't know if they're not brand deals. What are they? I don't remember what they're called. These updates we've gotten recently are not the main storyline, I don't think. And so, I think we will get story back in. Well, because I think the community update said that we would be going back to, is it Muckingham? Is that the name of the town it takes place in? I think we'd like return to there, and I think there'd be familiar faces. I don't pay too much attention to the lore of the game, but I did beat it, and I currently have all achievements you can get. But it's a good game. I'm excited for future content updates. Alright, let's see. Is that everything done here? This isn't. So I wonder what I've missed here. There we go. Okay, let's see what I've missed. If anything. 40, 70, what is this? String core sledges. Is that these? Okay, so that's those. So the only reason is because I haven't gotten over here yet, I think. And so that actually isn't that big of a deal. It can be hard to see dirt as well when it's in shadow. So that can sometimes be the reason you miss stuff as well. I am glad we don't have to do the roof though, and it's only a small section that we actually have to clean. Because man, if we'd have to clean the roof, then it'd be pretty hard. It is a mansion after all, so there's a lot to clean. We did have to clean, well, I don't know, I shouldn't talk too much about previous jobs, because that is kind of spoilers. The game's been out, but the game's been out for a while now, so at this point, if you haven't played it, I suppose the only reason would be you just can't afford it, which I would be sad because it's a great game. Although it is kind of sad because I really don't play it for fun anymore. I really only play this now to record a video. Because I want to keep it a new experience for me. And if I went back and cleaned the other stuff, it would just be the same thing. I think my biggest... The biggest thing that surprised me is... I mean, unless it's a certain job, it doesn't feel very repetitive. This game... It feels different each time. At least to me. I can't speak for everybody, of course. But for me, it always seems to keep itself fresh. As long as there's new stuff and you haven't done it all. But maybe that's just me, but I don't find it... I don't find that it gets repetitive at all. I'm not sure if anybody has said that, but I don't know, I quite enjoy it. Well, there was the wall. Oh, was it the wall I had to clean? I think it was the wall. Okay. So now I just have to go and move all this. Oh. There we go. And then just have to fall down a couple flights of stairs. I could talk about books more. I don't know if people actually liked me talking about 84. That episode was kind of a mess just because of my horrible description of the Spanish Civil War. But that was just me being stupid. And I am a big fan of history. I'm a history buff. Or I don't know if I'm deserving of that title because a lot of my history knowledge just comes from me reading a Wikipedia article. So I'm not sure. Like, I don't have a history degree by any means. I'm not planning on getting one anytime soon. But I enjoy history. I like watching documentaries, reading books about history. And so a lot of people would call me a history nerd or buff. But like I said, I don't know if I'm deserving of that title. Because if you want to actually learn about history, you have to do more than just read the Wikipedia article. You have to kind of do more research about it. Because history changes depending on who's telling it. And does that change, like, the actual history of what actually happened? No. But, you know, depending on who you ask, history will be told in different ways. And so it's interesting to see the way some people say it versus other people. And I also just hate bad descriptions of things or citing things without sources. And so I felt like I couldn't just ramble about something because a lot of the things I said could have been taken out of context. And that's not a good thing. I would prefer my first controversy not happen yet. I mean, I don't think anything would have. The things I said weren't necessarily the things I meant. Hello. Hello, I trust Winston has extricated himself from the freezer in time to make you tea. What? There are two things that always find their way out. The truth and Winston. What? Okay. I don't know. I'm just cleaning your mansion. I don't really know what you're talking about. Alright. I do like tea, though. I'm not a coffee drinker. It does not sit well with me. I did drink coffee occasionally if I needed to stay up all night, but it did not feel good. I'll tell you that. No, I do enjoy some tea. Black tea specifically, not that big of a green tea fan, but I'll drink it occasionally. I've always wanted to have tea made by an authentic British person. I make it, and I'm doing what people say. And I actually found that there's different ways to make it, and it apparently, according to the comments I was reading, I don't even know where I read this. Apparently, the way you make tea can be related to, one, the glass you were using to make it in, or the cup, and that itself had to do with class, because rich people used a certain type of glass and poor people used a different kind of glass. I don't know. I'm not British. But anyway, the point being, I always thought there was just like one way British people make tea, but that was stupid of me to assume because people do things differently. But the point of this is, I've always wanted an authentic British cup of tea, because every time I make it, I feel like I'm not doing it right, even though I follow the description of the way people say to make it, where, you know, brew tea, put milk in it, put sugar in it. Some people, I think, put like cream or something, I don't know. Put sugar in it, you know, all these things. I never feel like I'm making it correctly, which is maybe just my self-doubt, because I have a tendency to doubt myself heavily, and much more than I should. But that's a story for another day. I have to get the big extension up here, because I have to reach all the way to the top to get this stuff. Anyway, but yeah, I've just always wanted a cup of tea from an authentic British person. I don't know, citizen? I don't know. Someone who knows how to make a cup of tea should make me a cup of tea. That's the gist of it. Can I get up here? There we go. Now it's hard to see exactly what is dirty, what's not. Also, look at those beautiful skyboxes. But I'm just gonna keep washing it until it gets clean. There we go. And then I can probably use the short one, actually. I'll go for the long one. I gotta figure out what to do with oh, come on. There we go. Didn't realize this was a parkour game. It's really not. I have to figure out what I'm gonna do about all this. Oh, are you serious? Reaching 100 subscribers, because that's coming up soon. I don't think it's happened already. I can actually check. As of filming this, I have currently 96 subscribers. So we're coming up around 100. So I have to figure out what I'm gonna do, because I want to do something. Because there's like numbers you're supposed to celebrate. I assume it's just all the ones that end in 0. So like 100, 1,000, 10,000, 100,000. And then there's a couple 100,000s you might do, like 200,000, 300, and kind of just keeping going up from there. Maybe like 250, I don't know. It kind of just depends on what you find fit to celebrate. 500,000 is a big deal. And I would also say 1 million. And then probably all the various millions after that. I don't know. Depends on how much celebrating you want to do, particularly. But 100, I think, is a fair deal. It's 100 people, which is quite a lot. I don't exactly know what I'm going to do. It's too early for a face reveal. Also, I don't have a camera, so you kind of need that to have a face reveal. Because I'm not avoiding showing my face out of, like, oh, it's my persona or whatever, just something stupid like that. I'm doing it out of the fact that I just don't want the first time you seeing me to be like 3 pixels. So not showing my face is more out of, I don't know, it's not a necessity, but it's a tragedy. But I just gotta move all this stuff around. I don't know. Like I said, I'll do a face reveal when I get a camera. Because there's not a good reason I'm hiding my face. I actually do want to have a face camera at some point. I've talked about this, I'm pretty sure. But just to keep it brief, it allows for so much more comedic potential. Not that my comedy is top tier, necessarily, but you know what I mean. But someone suggested a live stream, which I could do. 1, I don't know what I would stream, and 2, I doubt many people would watch it. Just because, I don't know, I'd probably stream for... I've never streamed. I would probably stream around an hour, maybe 2 hours. I'd have to find a time to do that, and I just doubt many people would watch it. Not that I'm expecting a ton of people to watch it regardless, but I don't know. I feel like a Q&A, because that's another common thing people do. 1, they're kind of cheesy, I feel. I mean, they're interesting sometimes, but I feel like they're a little cheesy, but also I don't think that many people would ask questions, and so I'd be like, I'm doing a Q&A, and then I get like 3 questions. It's like, well, now what the heck do I do? So that's another thing. The only idea I've had is to just do, because people do tours, and those are also cheesy, but I could do like a desk tour to show you all those little knickknacks I have on my desk. And that would also require a camera, which is something I don't have, but I don't know. Maybe I could film it on my phone and just transport the footage over, and it would probably look bad, but I don't know, it's something. Whatever it is, I better figure out quickly. And I also have to figure out a time to do it. I don't know when. But I'll probably do something. Because 100, I mean, it's not... I mean, 100's a lot of people. Don't get me wrong. But, I don't know, I don't want to overshoot it, be like, oh my gosh, 100 subscribers. But I also don't want to undervalue it. It's like, oh, whatever. It's like, well, I value my subscribers. But I don't want to go over the top by any means either. Boom, over here. I'm falling once more, and I'm stuck. Amazing. Uh-oh. Oh, there we go. I have not found a way to soft lock this game yet. I do not want to find it now. Okay, how much more am I going to wash? Because I am almost at the time where I must leave. Let's see. Well, I could record for a little longer, I suppose. I just don't know what else to clean. Maybe this? Or I could go down here and I could clean this stuff. This needs done. There we are. Who knows? Like I said, I'll try and figure out something. I just haven't sat down and thought about it, really, so that's probably a reason for my lack of creativity. Maybe I could do a special episode, or find something I can kind of just do one episode on and be like, oh, it's a special, or I could make a longer video, or I don't know. There's various different things I can do. I think I'm gonna wrap it up here in a little bit. So, what did we do today? Today, well, we power washed. I like doing these little what did we do, and part of that is just to make sure that something meaningful actually got done in the episode. That doesn't always happen. I hope it does. It doesn't always happen. But, I mean, we washed. After I finish up this wall, I can kind of look at the percentages to see how much we actually got done. Because at the start of the episode, it was 48%. And last time I actually remembered to look, it was 57. But by cleaning this wall, there might be a little bit more. So we'll see. I also gotta figure out a thumbnail for this episode. The first thumbnail I liked, because it was that fish. And then it was kind of like the doorway, but now it's like, well, what else do I show? Do I go like here and just gradually show more in the of the mansion and the different parts I've cleaned? Because I think a lot of people put their face in the thumbnail, but if I don't show my face, it's like, what do I do? I also don't have Photoshop or anything, so I can't exactly go in there and do something. I do want to get Photoshop, though, because I think that would enhance my thumbnails. But I have to look into that later. I'm a little busy this weekend, so... But maybe next week I can look into it. I just gotta clean this wall now. So, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great rest of your day. What is it? It is Friday. Hope you have a great Friday. I'll see you in the next one, which will be a Don't Start video. And that'll probably, like I said, come out Sunday or Saturday. So I'll have to see. But yeah, I think that will have to do it. And then we can start on the rest of this later. I'm stuck. So let's see how much we got done. I also don't know. 71%. Not bad. So thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Have a great rest of your day. Yada, yada, yada. Goodbye.